Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Sammy Lega here representing Team JVS. What we've been all waiting for, Mortal Kombat. It is upon us. It is going to be dropping come Friday, April the 23rd, simultaneously on theaters and on HBO Max. What did I think about it? I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I did not prepare for this review at all. I'm going to give you guys a bare bone, unfiltered perspective on this, okay? So just prepare yourself. It is definitely some terrible line delivery. It definitely has some very cheesy moments. There's moments that just don't fit. As far as the opening act with one of the main characters, I thought it was really weak, but I can say effectively, Mortal Kombat was a great time. If you freaking loved any of the games, it pays homage to all of them in this one alone, just based on the amount of content and Easter eggs that they push at this. If you appreciated the original, you will definitely love this probably over the original. If you loved, which most people did, the Mortal Kombat animated feature Scorpion's Revenge, it takes so many luxuries to that and brings it on a live action format. And I really can say this is a very entertaining Mortal Kombat movie. Period. I really enjoyed it. It's like you don't gotta worry. If you were worried, all those things I said, yes, those are here, and I'll talk to those. But if you want to just leave right now, make sure you leave a like. I can tell you it was good. If you want to keep staying, I'll give you an actual review number. But no, it is very entertaining. It's worth watching in the movie theaters if you can, if you're safe, if you're vaccinated, etc. But if you're not, it's worth watching on your projector or your big screen TV on HBO Max on site. Like I cannot wait to watch this again. Actually, if I had the time, I would have watched it one more time before I did this review. So there you go. My unadulterated review of Mortal Kombat. But let's go ahead and kind of break it down really quick. So this was directed by Simon McCood. And this is starring a pretty broad cast, but not everybody's like star-studded. You got Louis Trans played the role of Cole. You got Joe Talzum plays the role of SubZero. You got Hiroyuki Sanada is playing the role of Scorpion or Hanzo. You've also got in this one, which I thought was a great addition, which I can't wait to talk about him. Tanbu Asano playing the role of Lord Raiden, and the list goes on. But what did I kind of think about it? So let's go off the aesthetics. The visuals and the cinematography were really good. Like I actually really appreciated the visuals in this because initially I was kind of like looking at some of these, these pictures. I was like, this looks good, but then the background looks kind of cheesy. I was like, how is this gonna work? And you got Outworld. You're thinking like really like out there and broad. I think that they definitely dialed it back in terms of the budget as far as how much they were willing to put into certain CGI elements of it. But I can say effectively that they are so much better than what the trailers really display, especially with certain characters. Like, of course, we saw the fight between Kano and a certain someone character, and it kind of looked like, man, that does not look good. But I can tell you that moment that I'm referring to, which is non-spoiler review, is so much better. Like that character is full CG. They move perfectly. They look really good, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. But also, like the key characters, the main characters themselves, like, I mean, this is Kung Lao and Liu Kang, and they play to their strengths very well. Like, I was pleasantly surprised by Ludi Lin's Liu Kang and the way they established his character in the midst of this, as well as Max Hung's Kung Lao, which Kung Lao is freaking epic in this film. I was really surprised by that. Then there's another person that I feel like I gotta give them a shout out because initially I was kind of like, I don't know, but I'm talking about Josh Lawson. Josh Lawson plays the role of Kano. And initially I was kind of like in the trailers, I was like, but he is hilarious, unadulterated hilarious. Like he actually gives no cares. Like he will say what he feels, what he wants, and he makes up the language and the tone of this from a violence and a vulgar, just from his verbiage. Like he just is griff and gruffy, but he is hilarious. He's got so many one-liners. Like his one-liners are honestly on par. Like from first act to second act, it's honestly, like he was the thing that was kind of keeping me invested in this. And I was actually really appreciative of the way that they handled his character in general. Now, one thing I'll say, this might be a misconception, much like Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge, it plays a lot of luxuries to that. So if you understand what I mean by that, it's not exactly what you think, like the original movie or even the original games were. But let's talk about Louis Tran. So Louis Tran is playing a new role, a person named Cole Young. I think that he was much stronger in the third act. I think in the third act was when things started to kind of progress. They started really kind of going for it. And I was like, okay, I see what they're doing with this character. Now, as far as one of the negatives for me, I didn't like the way that his character was kind of playing out. And I kind of wasn't really invested. And I started getting a little worried about the project in general because I was like, I don't really care enough about him to justify the means, because there was a specific storyline, which most of you guys already seen the first 7 minutes, which I'll get into, between two specific characters that were much more interesting. And there's one pivotal character that's so interesting that I cannot wait to see, what they may do with that moving forward. But there's also so many secret characters as well as secret nudges, which I'm not going to go into those. But as far as Louis Tran in his performance, I think the first act, again, it was kind of like, it was serviceable, but his martial arts and his dedication to what he was doing, like every single sequence, it's him. Like there's never a sequence where you're like, oh, that's a stunt double. Like, no, like he is doing it all. And I give him, like he has that star figure about him, which made the second act, the end of the second act and the third act so much more gratifying. And at the same time, kind of tragic, because there's a lot of certain circumstances that kind of do happen that now I'm going to be able to kind of talk about. But I want to talk about one other person, that is Lord Raiden. Oh my gosh, they got him so right. Bruh, this is the best Lord Raiden we've ever gotten. Animated, movie, whatever. This Lord Raiden, like he don't even have to do too much in terms of physical. It's his verbiage, his stance, as well as his character, and the way they play his character is so precise. I was like, he's a grandmaster. Like he's moving the chessboard around and you just don't really know. And I think that you guys will really appreciate his dedication to the role, as well as how they progress him as a character in general. But let's go ahead and get down to what y'all really want to talk about. The real deal, Jax. No, I'm just joking. Even though, no joke though, Makad, I think Makad does a really good job as Jax. I always will advocate for, of course, Michael J. White. I think he was the best Jax in general. But I think that Makad does a really good job in bringing something different to this role of Jax that I hadn't seen before. And it specifically has to do with each individual person and the way that they are connected to this world and why they're connected to the world and what they have to pull out of themselves to kind of progress through this. But even speaking on that same character, he's fighting in this scene, SubZero. Oh, it's so awesome. Like he actually low-key, man, like any scene that SubZero was in, you're gonna be like gushing about. Like, I mean, he just has this presence about him. And I think that honestly, Joe Chowsum is just nailing it. Like, I'm not gonna, like, whether he's in the suit or not, like, I can tell it's him. His fight choreography, of course, is amazing and immaculate, and as well as him in collaboration with Sonda and Scorpion. I think that they work so well together. It's perfect casting with them too, but specifically the way they utilize SubZero is very effectively different too. They really are kind of like, okay, we're going to move away from the BS and we're just going to go straight to it. This is who this man is, and this is what he's truly capable of, and this is what he's willing to do. And I think that they don't get tied down to anybody. I'll say that right off the bat. Like, if you have some favorite characters that you're like, oh, there's no way they can kill this character, there's no way they're going to leave this character out. Like, no, don't get tied down to anybody. I will say that right now. Please don't get too tied down. Do know this is Mortal Kombat. Again, this is taking a lot from Scorpion's Revenge. Again, the only thing I'll say is that the first act of this, there are some line deliveries from like Makad and the actress that plays the role of Sonya Blade. I kind of felt like was just really one note. It was just kind of like, it didn't go anywhere. But then to be fair, I mean, what am I comparing it to? It's 1995 and 1994 Mortal Kombat, so it wasn't much there either. But I think it's kind of like you had an opportunity. It's like, this could have been like a real banger. And that's not to say that the actress that plays the role of Sonya Blade, Jessica Nami is doing a bad job. I think that they just don't do that much with her as opposed to a character like Makai's character in Jax. I think that they do more with him than they do with her, even though the weird thing is she interacts with more people than he does. And I think that it's more so kind of like they're trying to position something that I don't know services her as a character, but I do understand it from a story-driven standpoint. But where you really want to see the things happening, they are there. Like true to form, this is Mortal Kombat. Like, no joke. It is gory. The fights are gory. It is unapologetically violent. It is the language is there. Like all the things that you want as far as Easter eggs and the things that you like from the original games from the years, they pay excellent homage and love and care to it, which I have to give credit to the director. I think the director, Simon, he understands the world, and I think he understands how to take some things seriously, some things not, and then also world build into a position where it's like you got like a character like this, and it's just like you got an actor like this. It's like, oh, we know how to use this. We know what to do with this character. We know exactly what we're doing. And I think that even like the actor that plays the role of Shang Tsung, I was kind of just like, oh, what are they gonna really do with him? But then I was like, oh, got it. Got it. And so for me, I would say that Mortal Kombat is a very entertaining film. Is it the best? No. Is it the best martial arts fighting movie I've ever seen? No. Is it the best video game movie I've ever seen? No. That's Sonic all day. But I will say that this is one that you're going to want to see again. I think it's one that's going to be very entertaining. I think people are going to like it. I think the critics are going to go off of, poor, like cheap set design, poorly acted or paced moments. They may go and break down like the logical perspective of what does this even mean? Who cares about this? Did you cheat this character? Did this character need to be there? Because I could ask that question about the character Cole. Like, did Cole need to be here? No, not necessarily. But the way that they execute him and the way that it pays off towards the end, I think is serviceable enough to be like, oh, okay, let's see what this really meant. Like, why did they put this character in here? What purpose was this character put in here? And I think that they do make justifications behind it, especially if you look towards last few scenes and last few sequences. Like I was kind of like, for the fans, this is amazing fan service. I guess it's the best way I can kind of put it. And I think ultimately that's what this is about. This is not me trying to break down this film to kind of tear it down for you. It's more for you, let you know, like, yo, it's freaking awesome. Like I enjoyed it. Like I know you guys will enjoy it too. I think you can have a lot of fun with it. And I think it's worth definitely checking out. I would rest this at a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely go and check out Mortal Kombat. I think you're going to really enjoy it. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. And I think from an entertainment standpoint, I can't wait to watch it again. Like on an entertainment level, I'd probably give it like a 9.5. From a film, just as an overall film, it'd be 7 or 7.5. But from an entertainment standpoint, 9 or 9.5. I was very surprisingly entertained by this. The more it kind of picked up, and it's different things. Again, it may be Raiden, it may be Kano, it may be the Kung Lao story arc, or the Liu Kang story arc, or the progression of hidden characters and hidden gems that I didn't know were going to be in this that service me as an actual fan. The fans will most benefit from this, but then ongoers that know Mortal Kombat, they're gonna be like, oh, I see what you did there. So anyway, let me know what you guys think when you watch Mortal Kombat. If you don't mind, please make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell button, and we will be back for much, much more. I think there's a certain last episode of something coming out on Friday, as well as something that's coming out on Amazon Prime very soon. So take care, guys.